I found a cat, guys.
Flat Earth expert Mark Sargent thinks the moon landing was a hoax.
Technically, the moon itself is a hoax.
Right, but betting with Sportsbet's new iPhone app?
I could do this standing on my head.
Thanks, Gravity. Sportsbet's new iPhone app. It's foolproof.
The FTFE show. Welcome to the FTFE show. Welcome to the FTFE show. Earth thinks that evolution is real. Chemtrails don't exist, vaccines work. Climate change is happening, we landed on the moon. The FTFE show. Welcome to the FTFE show. Welcome to the FTFE show. Study, it's not alright. Baby, it's not alright.
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Hello, welcome back to day 26 of streaming every day for a month. I'm very, very sore today. You may know why, because yesterday I spent 4 hours humping the rug over there. I want to say thank you to everyone that donated. Raised over £1,400 with the revenue. And I'm setting up a Just Giving page to continue it for the next month, but I've got verification thing I need to do, so it'll be up tomorrow. But I want to say thank you very much to everyone that watched and shared and donated. It was a very fun and different stream that my body is shouting at me now because I probably shouldn't have done that at 41 with a bunch of disabilities. But hey, what the hell. Tonight we have a very special guest. You may remember him from the early days of debunking Flat Earth. He is Conspiracy Catz.
Catz Conspiracy Catz. No one quite like him to flatten the flats. So come feel the vibe, like and subscribe, and take off your hats to Conspiracy Catz.
Well, Conspiracy Catz / Culture Catz / Baldy Catz. I mean, you can't decide, can you?
I can't. So I did promise you I was going to say, ahoy hoy. I've stolen that off somebody, a well-known streamer. That's mine now.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anyone else do that on YouTube. I think you're the first one to do that on YouTube, so obviously that's just your thing now, right?
it's got it, yeah. Ahoy hoy, it's mine. So how are you doing? You okay?
I'm doing fantastic, mate. And you know what? It's absolutely incredible to have you on the channel. It's been far too long. I think the last time I had you on, you were debating someone on the channel a long time ago. Talking about debates, I recently watched again your debate with Nathan Thompson, because every now and then I just, you know, it's pure joy to watch.
I did a watch along of that on my channel a couple of weeks ago, and it's been so long since I've seen it or thought of any kind of flat Earth arguments or anything. It just blew me away. You know, that I've forgotten just how arrogant and overconfident some of these guys are.
The thing that he does, the speech that he's got and the everything, it's exactly the same now, because he debated PhD Tony a couple of weeks ago, and I covered that, and I'm like, wait, I've seen all this before. This is what he showed me and what he showed Catz.
Well, they never change it. They just recycle the same arguments over and over and over and over again. You know, they never develop them. And the only one, to be fair, the only person who I think tries to develop arguments would be Dell. But the problem is the arguments he develops.
Yeah.
They're absolutely awful.
Yeah, now he's changed from density and buoyancy to the Earth. It's not even accelerating up, it's moving up at a constant speed, but also in a figure of 8 or something. I'm like, what?
To cause acceleration. What I love about that is, for years and years, like, you'd hear them say, oh, you're invoking some magical force that is accelerating things down to the Earth. This magical force called gravity that you just pulled out of nowhere. So what I'm going to do to counter it is I'm going to invoke some magical force that is...
Why is the Earth moving up, Del? Please tell us.
And oh, it's brilliant. And then when you let go of an object, what's he saying now? That for some reason there's a magical force that just causes it to decelerate just at the right rate.
Yeah,
for the Earth to catch up to it.
He's just pure genius, like absolutely pure. I mean, I understand why his wife let him buy a shed to stay in. Frankly, you know.
Well, built a shed. Get in there.
Yeah, sorry, I'll have the house. You can stay in the shed, love.
Oh, I love it.
So, what have you been dealing with outside of Flat Earth these days?
What am I dealing with outside?
Yeah, you took a bit
honestly,
of time off, obviously, and you've come back in the past few months. So, and you don't really touch Flat Earth anymore because you killed that. You killed the Flat Earth. You brought Ranty back to sanity, which I think was always one of your main goals. And you've done that. So you spread your wings and you've ditched the Flat Earth side. So what have you been up to?
Well, listen, there's plenty of stupid outside of Flat Earth, and I've been. So my channel kind of got a complete rebrand a few months ago, and it's concentrating mainly on medical information, also the odd scam product, and then now just anything that's really poor science communication. But I'm trying to go back to my old ways where I'm a little bit sarky and snarky with it all. But I mean, there's been just such a variety of anything that would be really bad misinformation that's touched to science and conspiracy, really, apart from Flat Earth.
Yeah, I mean, you must have had a field day with obviously all the COVID deniers and stuff like that. There's so much medical misinformation that I've been scared to touch because YouTube was a bit angry, but they don't really mind so much anymore.
Well, honestly, since July, I had a 90-day period where I picked up 4 channel warnings for medical misinformation, and if I hadn't obviously have got those warnings overturned, that would have been a warning and 3 strikes and I'd have been gone.
Yeah.
And some of those warnings I really had to battle. One of them somebody else managed to fix for me, be eternally grateful for them, and the others took hours and hours. So yeah, you've got to be really, really careful. YouTube can't, and it's like they're not interested. You try and approach them, and to get someone to actually listen and go, okay, this guy actually is talking sense. It's so hard, isn't it?
Yeah. Ever since I feel like maybe went up a bit in the algorithm or something, I've got my YouTube person that I can directly connect with, and it's been a lot easier for me. If something happens, I can be like, hey, what's gone on here? And then they usually deal with it. But yeah, the YouTube system is so broken that it doesn't recognize when you're literally saying the opposite of the medical misinformation, or like the copyright thing is so broken that I can play like a 3-second clip of something and then it remove my channel for my video from a bunch of places, and like you have to fight this, and by then like the momentum of the video is gone or something, and it's just really annoying.
I made a video a while ago about a guy who I put a lot of work into. I'd actually got in touch with him, had an hour-long Skype call with him, caught him like red-handed telling me that he had a device, and I'll not use the word here because I don't want you to get a warning, a device that would cure a very serious disease that none of us want to get, if you know what I'm talking about.
Aye.
And it would. And he would diagnose whether somebody had been cured with a pendulum. But then he would tell the person, if you go away and your thoughts are negative, it will come back. So basically, he never cured them. They went away, realized that they weren't cured. They come back, they paid him again, and he was blaming it on the negative thoughts. I had an hour-long conversation with this guy. And, I got a video, got it together, got it out, and taken down for a warning in no time. And then when it went back up again, it never picked up in the algorithm, and it, it had less than 1,000 views. It took me weeks to prepare that one.
And it's disheartening, isn't it? Of course. Monkey Cat Pat Pat $2 says, just getting my first super chat out of the way. That one doesn't count. Need to try again. Sorry. Just the Messenger 199 says, it's great to see you cats. Keep crushing the stupid. If you've got any questions for the wonderful cats, then please feel free to super chat or tag me, and we will ask Catz anything. And just like me, when he's on the channel, he is legally obliged to say whatever is in a super chat. It's a contract we sign with YouTube. Gary IOW for £2 says that they're not sending any super chats tonight. Gary, buddy, fail. Signa Step for $5. Super chats are a waste of money. I couldn't agree more. Don't you dare send me any more super chats.
I just want to point out, in case anyone thinks I'm being rude, like you might see my eyes glancing off down to the left, right? It's because I'm trying to read the chat and I've got the stream on my phone down here. Because I haven't got a very big screen and it's just easy for my eyes. So if people, I don't want anyone thinking God, he's rude. He's not. He's not
He's not
talking
paying
to us.
attention. He's watching the football.
Yeah, what's he doing? I'm trying to read the chat. That's what I'm doing.
Is that the Galaxy Z Fold I saw there?
It's not a Galaxy. I got it yesterday. To be honest, it's dead cheap. It's about 18 quid a month. It's a Motorola one. I was trying to get a cheap one, but I've never had a foldy one before, so I like it.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's all right. I don't know if it'll last, and I don't know if it's fast or slow, but it does everything I need.
It does the job.
Monkey
Cat Pat for $2 says, Catz, what do you think Whitsitt will say after the final experiment?
Is he definitely going?
Well, he has been paid for. He's been sent the cold weather gear. However, he's making complaints that Will hasn't bought him everything he wants and says that breaks the contract. But he's still saying he's going. But here's the thing. Everyone else that's going, they prepared stuff. Like, Toon's got a bunch of experiments. Critical Think has. Even Jerenism has got a bunch of stuff prepared. And Lisbeth, not a word of what Whitsitt's done. If he's, is he just going to go there and stand around and look at the sun? We don't know. You know, I think that he's going to not go and make a big thing about having to pay, which is what the contract says if you bail out when it's been paid for. So, but if he does go, what do you think he'll say?
If he does go, and I'm with you that I don't think he will. If he does go, he'll come back and he'll be thinking of some reason why a 24-hour sun doesn't prove anything. He'll come out with some absolute nonsense, and he'll say, "Yeah, well, we saw the sun, but you know what? That doesn't actually mean anything because." And then he'll get his word salad. He'll shrug it off and he'll come up with something else. Or how do we really know we were told we were going? How do we know that? You know,
we got drugged. We just flew over the ocean. I don't know what it was. He's already trying to push this coffee cup caustic nonsense where he thinks that the sun could reflect off of the ice wall and it would simulate where the sun would be at certain points. And I'm like, but there's no point where the sun disappears and then another one takes its place. You know? Like, did you hear his argument for why we have counter-rotating stars in the north and south?
Oh, no, but can I guess?
Go on.
Oh, hang on.
You're not going to get it.
It's going to be stupid, isn't it? No, I can't think on his level. Go on.
Right. He said that the reason there's different stars rotating in the north and the south is that it's because of the way you're looking. And the way he explained it was, if I draw a circle on a window, someone the other side of the window will see the circle being drawn the other way to me.
You know, I've heard Phuket word, Gigantor. I've heard him say something like that in the past.
I had to kind of point out that, number one, it's not the same stars. And number two, when do we walk through a pane of glass to look at the stars from the other side?
Oh, they do make me laugh. They do make me laugh.
Just the massive Messenger 199 says, Catz, have you got any good chatbot travels lately?
You know what? I get a lot of hateful comments, but I don't get any. The farming isn't as good for the Chatbox Travels comments because I want to do one a month, like one standalone Chatbox Travels video a month.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm about to get my other one out this week, I hope. But it's hard. It's hard looking for them. Yeah, it's not the same. At Flat Earthers, it's almost like they do it deliberately, you know. But it's hard. It's kind of being outside that.
Yeah, Flat Earthers have got a habit lately of commenting and then deleting the comments so that I don't get a chance to like capture them or something.
Well, I've seen them edit them as well. Somebody writes one, lots of people reply, then they edit it so it makes the reply look stupid. I quite like that idea. It's quite
that's clever for a flat earther, you know.
Yeah.
Zoomy Tomato, $2. I'm broke and I can't send any super chats. Yeah, well, there's a trick, right? If you send more super chats, then you get money. I don't know how it works, but it's true. I've heard. Monkey Cat Pat $2. I refuse to super chat. That's for losers. I agree. Gary IOW, £2. Super chats are a scam to steal your money. Just the Messenger 199 says space comma.
Space comma.
Let's see if there are any questions for you. Rachbot for $2. I can't super chat either. Well, you're a bot. You shouldn't be able to. Pajo Lee says, Catch, just for fun, fish and chips or pizza, and why?
Fish and chips or pizza? It depends. To be honest, I mean, usually it'll be fish and chips, but if it's a Friday night, and I'm sat in front of a film and it's late, as long as it's got loads of chips loads of spicy beef and it's burning like spicy hot. It's got to be a meat feast pizza.
Pizza. I've not had many pizzas and stuff lately because I've been doing a diet. But oh my god, yeah. Domino's. Oh, damn, Domino's spicy tandoori. Oh, I could crush that right now. Lisa, $2. This is not the super chat you're looking for. Danny Turner, member for 40 months, says, Catz, are you and Dell still attending Shed Rage High? Asking for a friend.
He's still... No, Dell graduated.
Yeah, no, he's gone to college of flat earthers now. He's on the next level. So, I saw your video that you released recently that you have annoyed the Australian government.
Couldn't believe it. I made a video. I released it on Sunday night as a one-off. Right? Not as one. I saw Australian senator, a current actual Australian senator, trying to talk to somebody about the science behind climate change, and he, I don't know whether he believed in climate change or not, but he was basically telling the top government scientist that climate change didn't work the way she said, and he said silly things like, because the greenhouse effect can't happen because greenhouse is a solid, but carbon dioxide is a gas.
I had to stop and like facepalm for a while. It's like flat earthers with the whole, you can't have the atmosphere next to a vacuum. There must be a solid firmament.
It was bizarre. It was bizarre. He really was. But he was so smug when he was speaking to her. He was really, really smug. And at one point, he actually said, well, when I did 8th grade science, which is 12-year-old stuff, he said, we learned that there are solids, liquids, and gases. And I thought, you said it, like, why are you saying that? As if, like, you think you've got some kind of background in high-level climate science. But he responded. He saw my video overnight. I think it only got 2,000 views overnight. My channel's not very big. But he responded, and he left me, like, a paragraph of the most, like, scientifically illiterate mess that I've ever read in my entire life, which just gave me a chance to make another video on dissecting his comment on that. It was just hilarious.
He's clearly the kind of person that searches for himself every night.
Yeah.
Right? He knew that he was in a Senate hearing, and there would be videos about it, and he wanted to see what people were saying. Oh, look at this smart guy putting the scientist in his place. But no, your video popped up, and it hurt his little ego.
He didn't seem happy. He didn't. But I mean, I think you're right. I think he has to search for himself, because my channel doesn't get many impressions. I fail to believe that just coincidentally it's popped up on his phone. But what makes me laugh about this guy is when he was saying this to the actual proper official government scientists, they were being really polite because it was a Senate hearing.
Yeah, of course.
Me and you would just say, listen, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Please sit down and just let the actual, adults
Let the adults talk, please.
Yeah. Shut up. That is the biggest load of nonsense I've ever heard. But obviously these scientists didn't say that. And they just said, well, listen, look, thank you for your question. I'll get back to you on that. And it was basically a case of like, all right, cheers, kid, sit down.
Yeah.
So he went on his website and he put the video and he wrote a massive blog underneath it, like he'd won. He was like, I put my questions to them and all I got back was word salad. I was like,
and he thinks that, like the things that he was saying, it was literally, third grade science, but wrong.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I learned in third grade. Well, did you not pay attention in third grade? Was that the problem?
He's heard a load of scientific words. He's put them all together. Like when he left that comment on my channel, he literally said that an electron is 1,800 times lighter than a photon. I think he means proton.
Yeah. Wrong P, dude.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty. When you're talking about things radiating energy and stuff, getting photon and proton wrong is pretty important. And then he said, yeah. So he goes, because an electron is 1,800 times lighter than a photon, that means that a carbon dioxide molecule can't heat up 100,000 molecules around it. Like, I think he genuinely thinks from what he said that a carbon dioxide molecule gets really, really hot, like to thousands of degrees, and then passes that on to the molecules in the area around it. That seems to be what he thinks we're saying.
So does he literally thinks that a CO2 atom molecule is just naturally hot for some reason?
He thinks what we are. He thinks what climate change scientists are saying is that when they absorb the extra radiation, stop it going from space, that they must become hot. And he's saying that our climate change science will only work if those carbon dioxide molecules can reach 10,000 degrees, and then they'll be hot enough to heat 10,000 molecules around them by 1 degree.
No, it's about the energy in and out of the system, isn't it? It's the fact that the CO2 is emitting the energy slower than it is absorbing it, right?
Yeah, it's stopping it leaving the Earth and the atmosphere. You've got Earth receiving energy from the sun at a certain rate, and then the carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases are preventing it from going back into space at the same rate. So it's like a bank balance. You put in money in faster than it comes out, your balance is gonna grow. And it's the same with energy. You're putting energy in faster than it goes out, and then the system's going to get more energy, and you're going to increase in temperature. So as a system.
So he thinks that obviously, how would he explain Venus? Like the fact that the pressure and heat on Venus is so intense compared to us, considering Venus is basically the same size as us. The only reason that's happened is a runaway greenhouse effect. So does he think Venus has, a solid glass all around it?
I've not quite got to the bottom of his argument yet, because on his website is another article that I've not read yet, because I didn't want the video to be too long, and it says something like top climate scientists deny the role that gravity plays in causing global warming. And then he said in one of the videos, he was saying, and you're just going to ignore the role gravity plays in the greenhouse effect or something. So I don't know what he actually thinks is going on. But
I'm going to try and get him to debate you. That would be the best thing ever. For those that are just joining, and thank you if you are, we are discussing the fact that an Australian senator, someone literally in government in Australia, tried to argue with climate scientists about the climate change and couldn't figure out the fact that there isn't a glass dome around us. He thinks that's the only way you could have a greenhouse effect. So yeah, that's what we're discussing. Judy Bassett for €9, thank you, says no super chat today. I'm not sure you guys quite understand how this works. But yeah, thanks. Andreas Eldritch for 42 secs. I do like all the secs. This is not a super chat, nor is it the answer. Well, it is the answer to life, the universe, and everything. So I hope that he will go back into the Senate and discuss your video with them. That would be funny.
Well, in my first video I made on him, the one he responded to, I hope the Senate do watch it, because I think I said something akin to the fact that I'm just saying to you what those scientists you were speaking to in the hearing wanted to say. They just wanted to say to you, shut up, you idiot. Just shut up and let us get on with this without you, So I hope he does play that, and then that'll give everyone else a chuckle.
It reminded me of that time that a moon landing denier went into a council meeting, where anyone can come and talk and they've got a allotted amount of time, spoke about the fact that he thinks NASA are defrauding us in front of these government officials, and they all just went, okay, thank you then, and then he posted that as though he'd just gone to the government and exposed NASA. No, dude, you just went and said a bunch of stupid stuff to some people that thought you were an idiot, but were polite to you.
Yes. Yeah, people that didn't want to, shame you there and then. And I get that. I do get that. When I was teaching full time, if a kid got an answer wrong or said something dumb, I wouldn't shame them and go, "No, you idiots! You got you wouldn't do that, would you?" But if somebody is...
Wait, you're not supposed to do that when you teach people? Oh,
apparently not. I don't. But when it's somebody who is so convinced that they are right and they are telling, they're not just trying to answer a question and get it wrong, or they're not just getting a bit confused. They are adamant. I am right. You've got this all wrong. And at the same time, they've got no idea what they're talking about. And they're adults. I think sometimes it's fair to say, just you need to snap back to reality here, bud,
As a physics teacher, could you what would you have done if you would have ended up having a discussion with one of your students, but imagine this student was saying the kind of things that Nathan Thompson was saying?
That's a really... What, and they were saying them as fact?
Yeah, and arguing with you, telling you you're wrong and stuff. You know, how would you deal with that with a student?
Well, you know, I've had a very similar incident just this last week.
Ooh.
Based on the medical intervention beginning with a V rather than flat Earth. And I'll tell you how I dealt with that. Because I still teach, but not like full time in school settings. And I was actually teaching the health and disease section of the AQA biology specification, and part of that is immunity and how we can stimulate immunity with vaccines and stuff like that. And I heard one kid, before I even got over to speak to him, saying to his friends, he was repeating a lot of this nonsense, people said it would stop transmission. People said this, people said that, you know, and so I knew what his views were, and he's obviously got it from his parents.
Yeah.
So I didn't say anything. I could hear him from a distance, but when I went and sat over and I started to have a chat with him, I said, I said, listen, you're going to love this. You're going to love it, because if you've ever been on social media, right, this is your chance to correct a load of idiots you will see on social media who are scientifically illiterate and they think they know what they're talking about. People who say things like this, and kind of repeated what he said. So I wasn't calling him an idiot, but he was kind of like, oh, right, maybe I'm wrong. And then I explained exactly what they do and exactly why all those things were wrong. And I said, I bet you've seen that kind of stuff on Twitter, haven't you? And he was like, yeah. I said, well, next time, tell them why they're all wrong. He was like, all right, we'll do, sir. You know.
You just caused an argument in that family's house, Catz. You know that, right? The kid's gone home and going, Dad, what you said about vaccines, right? That's just wrong.
You don't understand.
Oh no, it's Andy for £2 says, I can't super chat either. I'm worn out watching you. I told you, you're not allowed to leave. Sorry. Gary OW £2. How do I make a super chat? Any help, please? You need to type a higher number. That's just how it works. Weld Boy has been a member for 15 months. Says, not a super chat. This is just a tribute. Turtle Moves £2 says, a debate between this Aussie senator and MTG. That would be crazy. And Sigma Step, who's been a member for 21 months, says, only 21 months, that's lame. Well, keep going then. Right, so I wanted to ask you, what is the dumbest thing that you've covered outside of Flat Earth since your comeback?
I mean, the senator was, probably actually one of the dumbest. I've had, let's have a look here. I have had I did do a Tucker Carlson video a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. Now, I don't know whether you can it's only a short 4-minute thing, but it is the most undebunkable thing I've ever been able to debunk, that I've not been able to debunk. I can't debunk it. And it is really dumb, but I could do with your help, seeing if you could debunk it. Would you be up for...
Yeah. We can try and debunk it together. What's the video?
Well, it's one of the recent ones. It's got Tucker Carlson on the face. It's only 4 minutes long. You put it on double speed, but it is pretty dumb.
On Culture Catz.
On Culture Catz, yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's fun, but it is the most... I cannot debunk this. I need the help of everyone in the chat. I don't debunk it in the video. I don't get the answer to it. I just want to see, but it is also one of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
This cannot be debunked. I need your help. Right, okay. It starts with Alex Jones. Oh, good. Have you also been enjoying Alex Jones' mental breakdown about the fact that InfoWars was sold to The Onion?
Well, what happened with the appeal to that? Because I know that they called into question the legitimacy of the auction, didn't they? And it was put on hold, but I don't know what the outcome of that was.
As far as I'm aware, it's gone through, and The Onion are acting like they own it. So
The Onion will be great with that.
I know. I can't wait for it. Right, Chrome. Right, let's listen to this. 4 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need your help. Anybody who has followed me on YouTube for any time knows that I'm a scientifically minded person. I've tried to debunk scientific misinformation and paranormal claims whenever and wherever I've come across them on YouTube, and I think I've done a reasonable job up to now. You know that I don't believe in the paranormal. You know I don't believe in silly things like fairies or ghosts or Burnley or anything like that. You know that I'm rational, but I've come across a story that is so unbelievably difficult for me to debunk. It is causing me some serious cognitive dissonance, and I don't know where to go with it. I really, truly need your help. I'm just going to play you 2 videos. One is the source of how I came across this claim, and then the second is a claim itself. The first person who tipped me on to this story is this man here, Alex Jones. Let's listen to what he's got to say. Wise words, Alex, wise words, but there's more.
All right. I have never told this story. Or these stories. And I'm going to do it tomorrow on the Friday show.
Okay.
But I was basically inspired to go ahead and do it by Tucker Carlson today.
By Tucker Carlson. Now, I did listen to the rest of Alex's video, but this is second-hand information. At this point, we're going to go to the main man himself. And like I say, this is a truly inexplicable story, and if you can help me in the comments by letting me know exactly what you think is going on here, so I don't have to suddenly believe in the paranormal after all these years and explain I'm wrong, then please do. But here's how Tucker's story began.
Do you think the presence of evil is kickstarting people to wonder about the good?
That's what happened to me.
That's what happened to you?
Oh yeah, I had a direct experience with it.
Okay, so he's had a direct experience with evil. This is coming straight from his own mouth. It's going to get worse, it's going to get weirder, and it's going to get very inexplicable. Obviously, I'm pausing for copyright reasons.
In the milieu of journalism or just...
Nope, in my bed at night, and I got attacked while I was asleep with my wife and 4 dogs in the bed.
So I don't know if maybe I paused that a little bit too soon. Let me just go back 5 seconds. The middle of the night while he was sleeping with his wife and 4 dogs. He was sleeping with his wife and 4 dogs.
In my bed at night, and I got attacked while I was asleep with my wife and 4 dogs in the bed and mauled.
He was sleeping with his wife and 4 dogs, and he got mauled apparently in the night. It's inexplicable so far. Let's see where this goes.
Physically mauled.
In a spiritual attack by a demon?
I mean, by a demon is the only obvious answer in it. He was asleep with his wife and 4 dogs, and he was mauled. The obvious explanation is it must be a demon. I can't think of any other way that he could have been mauled while sleeping with his wife and 4 dogs.
Yeah, by a demon. Or by something unseen that left...
Is that right?
Claw marks on my sides.
Oh my god. Claw marks on his side. I mean, all he was doing was minding his own business, sleeping with his wife and 4 dogs, and he woke up with some claw marks on his side. It's inexplicable. His wife and the 4 dogs that were sharing the bed with him must have been horrified.
So he left physical marks?
Oh, they're still there.
Physical marks. His 4 dogs would have been horrified that they couldn't protect him from that. So there we go. I don't know where to go with this. I want to thank Alex Jones for putting me onto this completely inexplicable story. I have no idea how Tucker Carlson woke up after sleeping with his wife and 4 dogs and woke up with some scratch marks down his side. Obviously, it must be some kind of demonic force or something. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to leave it there. The cognitive dissonance is strong. Help me understand this, please. Goodbye.
I mean, frankly, Catz, I'm kind of with you. I'm at a loss. I mean, spitball in here, but did you consider Bigfoot?
I mean, Bigfoot, I was doing some geographic tinkering, and he doesn't live. Apparently, I've heard that Bigfoot only hangs around in places where it's common to see big grizzly bears. Somebody told me that in a debate once. That's where you normally find Bigfoot.
Right, okay, yeah. So you find something that looks like a big bear where there's big bears. I mean, yeah, it's just obviously some kind of coincidence. Right, well, the only other thing that it immediately comes to mind is some kind of alien abduction that for some reason left claw marks. similar to I don't know, some kind of canine type creature. That's, and then obviously put them back in the bed with the wife and what else was with the wife? What else was in the bed?
There was four insignificant dogs that.
Oh yeah, they don't
have
matter.
No role in.
No.
Yeah.
Now, I suppose we could brainstorm this. What other things have been known to maul people?
Krampus.
Yeah, Krampus. I was going to go with Shrek. I mean, mountain lions, definitely. Have we considered mountain lions?
They were on my list. But I mean, you're leaving out demon, which is the obvious and only answer.
I mean, it's too obvious, though, isn't it? Really? You can't just go straight to demon. I mean, it's the too obvious choice. You've got to think, what else could it be? And frankly, four dogs in the bed, and none of them reacted to.
No.
I mean,
there was only four.
Only four, yeah. That's not too many. And I've had cats, and they've got quite sharp claws, and they've been known to I guess maul. Was there any cats around? I know the dogs would have chased the cats off, wouldn't they? Yeah.
It's crazy. It is truly inexplicable. But when I looked in the comment section of where I got that video from, there were so many people in the comment section saying things like, Tucker, it's okay, I've been through the same thing. And then literally I saw about 3 of them were like, yeah, I keep sleeping with my dog now to protect me, and I'll still wake up with scratches.
Yeah. I mean, the blood on the dog's mouth and claws that's probably from somewhere else, right?
It's got to be. It's just, oh man, it's bizarre. It's bizarre.
I don't know, chat, what do you think? Nick N says it was probably Matt Welsh.
Oh, Matt Walsh.
Yeah.
Oh, probably Matt Walsh.
Zoomy Tomato, clearly his wife is a vampire. Did you consider vampires?
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good, but then that's more puncture marks, isn't it? Than
true. Not
mauling,
like claw mark. Right, no. Keebler elves, maybe. Who knows? Possibly.
Got to be Krampus. But what kind of thought process is gone through his mind there, where he's told that story, and then gone through the editing process, and then gone through the proof watching process, and then
and
piloted
still posted it,
and then posted it. Surely at one of those points he'll have thought, "Oh, I wonder if it was the dogs."
Oh, Monkey Cat Pat. It's an important question there for $2. Did Tucker ask the dogs if they saw anything?
He did, but they were sleeping somewhat off. They were feeling a bit woof.
Now, my question is, how did he not wake up when getting mauled? What the fuck was he doing the night before?
When he says mauled, he's like, I had scratch marks, and to me and you over here, if I hear the word mauled, I'm thinking of horrific injuries. I'm going to tell you a story about that. Actually, you will love this story. Well, you won't. Maybe you will, maybe not. But it's about mauling with a dog. About 15 years ago, I was training a trainee teacher. He was a teacher in my department. Lovely guy, but I know he lives in another country now. And, this is on the internet. He still might see it. Oh, never mind. He was a nice guy, but he was really lazy. He'd just take days off without asking. He wouldn't plan any lessons. And then one day I got an email from him. And he said, and there's 2 things wrong with this. He says, I'm really, really sorry. I'm in hospital. I've been mauled by a dog. And he sent me a photograph, and this photograph and the email is still pinned up in the staff room in the school I used to work at. And when you look at the photograph, it looks horrible, right? But if you were to Google, or back then, mauled by a dog arm, it came up. He's Googled it, right? Because we looked for it. And do you know what made me try and Google it? Is that this guy originally come from India, and, he's dark-skinned. And the photograph he sent us was of a white man's arm. I think when he was googling it, he must have been googling it in bad light or something, and like not seen. And he copied it, sent it us. I was like, "This is my arm. I've just been mauled by a dog."
I don't think that is, my friend.
Oh, brilliant.
Monkey Cat Pat Pat for $2 says $2 million. Did I do it right? No, you need to type that in the bit above. Just try once more, buddy. You're nearly there. Pat Booth, $2 Canadian says, how are the arms and shoulders today, man? Well, it's strange actually, because I remember doing all those push-ups, but when I woke up in my chamber full of goo, like everyone does every morning, and the pipes disconnected and I came out, and the people in the hazmat suits left the hallway, as that's how everyone wakes up every morning, obviously. My body didn't have any pain, so I'm not sure. I thought I'd feel worse after doing 1,010 push-ups, frankly, but who knows? Hey, Catz, you see a barcode when you close your eyes, right?
All the time.
Yeah, cool. I thought so. Yeah. PhD Tony, $5 Australian says, oh, okay, so Catz can stream this late for FTFE. I get it.
Hey, PhD Tony. Well, actually, you back me up on this FTFE because I did message you last week. The reason I can do tonight is because I've taken tomorrow off work. Not for this stream, but I've just got a couple of days off. So normally I wouldn't stream this late, but I'm off.
They found his videos and he got fired.
So yes, I was Tucker Carlson's dog handler.
Oh my god, I've been still thinking about that. Someone said maybe he's got a haunted back scratcher.
Oh.
Now, I mean, demons was obviously one of the choices, but did you consider other supernatural things like ghosts or, interdimensional aliens, possibly? Wait, no, that was the plot for the fourth Indiana Jones movie. Sorry.
I saw. What did I? Do you know a film with Walken? See if anyone in the chat can get this. He was in, because I can't remember the name, but I did see it a while ago. And this was a film where he was visited by aliens, and it just got so utterly bizarre and weird at the end.
Christopher Walken with aliens.
Started off all right. Any idea?
I don't think I've seen any Christopher Walken alien movies.
He was young. He was really young in it. Well, really young. He must have been maybe in his 30s or early 40s. And he played a writer, and they were at a cabin. And I don't know. It started off all right, then just got really bizarre. But anyway, it was about aliens. I did try to think of the name of it. Communion. That's it. Uncle Charlie's got it.
Yes.
Communion. Thanks, Uncle Charlie.
The Turtle Moves for £2 says, oh, it was clearly the dingoes that did Tucker Carlson's thing. Well, I mean, again, I feel like the dogs would have noticed the dingoes and stopped that mauling. What else? I mean, generally, his wife and the 4 dogs, it's obviously not them. So what else could it have been in the house?
It's it's one of those, sometimes we've just got to accept that there are things out there in this universe that we can't comprehend, and we'll never get to the bottom of. Right.
Yeah.
Weeks I've been pondering.
Uncle Charlie obviously got communion there for you, and that's something you remember. But I've been arguing with people lately, and I think I might be going crazy. But do you remember a Saturday morning cartoon TV show called Attack of the Killer Tomatoes?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I used to be.
Thank you. Oh my God, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not going mad. It did exist. My wife, she's trying to convince me that's not a thing. And I'm like, no, it's real.
It's absolutely real. I didn't watch it when it was on a Saturday morning. I'm a few years older than you, but when I first saw it, it was on that after school time. I get home from school, and it'd be on 4 o'clock BBC time. It was all right. It wasn't my favourite, but it was good, steady watching.
Oh, I loved it. I loved Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I remember my dad standing there going, "What are you watching? Attack of the Killer Tomatoes? Sorry, what?"
Yeah, no, it was good. There was some really good cartoons when we were younger. One of my favourites, again, not a lot of people remember, is Visionaries. Knights of the Magical Light, where they had these holograms on the chest with animals, and they could turn into animals, and they had these. Yeah. Do you remember it?
Yeah.
They were knights. Yeah, it was good. That.
Good. I'm just so glad that I'm not crazy about Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, though. I think my wife was making me think that maybe I was a bit mental. I'm not sure.
No, I used to watch it. I was wouldn't say I was an avid fan, but I was definitely into it. Definitely into
Joe
it.
Black says, check for my comment under Cat's video. I think I nailed it. Oh, your can't be debunked video. I'll just have a look at the newest one. I think someone may have given
Ladies and gentlemen, I need your help.
Right, let's have a look. Wait, comments. Where have they moved comments to? I don't like this new interface. Right, okay, there we are. Newest first. Oh, I don't see your comment. If you, I think Catz has got you blocked. He doesn't like you.
I do have links blocked, and there's links. But
Mr. Toffee's Attack of the Killer Tomato was 1990s and had 2 seasons. Only 2 seasons. God, I remember.
You can repeat
that,
them
sure.
over and over, can't you?
Yeah, true. I mean, as a child, I probably wouldn't have noticed.
I bet they'll be on YouTube.
Timo Lynch, €5, says, just how are they getting stuff to the ISS? Guitars, gorilla costumes, that kind of stuff. I know a world expert who wants to know.
I'll fill you in on that. That is hilarious. Hi, Timo. Do you know what he's on about with that?
No, tell me.
Right. I'll fill you in this. Andrew Bridgen, our ex... so like, if you're from America, Andrew Bridgen will be our version of RFK, I suppose. Would that be fair?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Andrew Bridgen decided that he was going to put together a team of 15 world experts to take to the commissioner of, and I've got a few videos on this, to take the commissioner of the Metropolitan Police, because he believed that, again, I don't want to use any language that will get your channel in trouble, but that medical intervention from a few years ago, there's some kind of global conspiracy linked into that. That's all I'll say on that. So he put together a list of experts, and on that list of 15 world experts, he had, ready for this, Matthew Letizia, the ex-Southampton midfielder. He had a man called John O'Looney, who's a Milton Keynes funeral director, who literally, and I've got this tweet, I show it on my channel all the time, he posted out, it was seen by over 60,000 people, that he was going to buy a UV torch to see vaccinated people illuminate, because he'd heard they illuminate, and he wanted to try it and see. They had a woman called Jackie Devoy, who I'm not really sure what she does, but she was doing a stream with our mutual friend, allegedly Dave, not so long ago. And she was saying how her and Dave met when they were talking about flat Earth. And she literally said to Dave, she said, we need to educate people about why the ISS isn't real. And the reason she gave is what Timo posted then. She actually said to him, like, you know, the ISS is real. I mean, come on. How you see people playing the guitar in gorilla costumes? How do they get up there? What kind of delivery service delivers things to a machine moving at 70,000 miles an hour? It's like, well, you just take them with you when you go. You don't order them from UPS for delivery.
Yeah, they haven't got like an Amazon direct to ISS button.
Yeah.
Outside of delivery area, sorry.
Yeah, but oh god, Andrew Bridgen's list, it was just full of like the least expert people. It was hilarious, absolutely hilarious. But yeah, true story.
I'll tell you a story that I haven't told yet, because I think it's quite funny though. I can't go back to the barber I've been using for a while. My barber in my local village opened up, and I like to support local businesses, and I've been going to him, and he's a Freemason. I've been talking to him quite a lot about the fact that flat earthers are, you know, they'll claim that Freemasons run the world and stuff, and he finds that hilarious. And he had a new girl start with him, right? And she was doing my hair, asking what I do, and I'm like, oh, I'm a YouTuber, I make fun of flat earthers and stuff, and she went a bit quiet, and you know, I kind of just went on saying about the stupid things they say. She's like, oh yeah. And then she finished my hair and she went out the back, and he was like, yeah, she's a flat earther. And I just like spent the past like 25 minutes with this woman cutting my hair, slagging off flat earthers. She must have been getting more and more angry. And I'm like, she held a razor blade to my neck. Oh, whoops.
That is, yeah, I'm surprised she didn't recognize you, because, you know, I know as YouTubers, we're not like, you know, celebrities, and we don't get recognized walking around the street, but the small number of flat earthers that there are flock around YouTube channels. Like they gravitate to this corner, and they will know who you are. So I'm surprised she didn't recognize you.
Well, she didn't even know who Eric Dubay was when I was talking about it. Yeah. But I have been recognised by flat earthers. I went to Subway once, and then the next day, someone tagged me a comment under Jake the Asshole's video saying, "Oh, I just served FTFE in Subway. He was a right asshole," and I'm like, I wasn't. I'm always really nice to people. But I have been recognised in public a couple of times, which has been quite good. Have you been recognised at all in public?
Twice. Twice. Once, my daughter, when she was very young at the time, and it was also embarrassing. It was also in a subway. And this guy, he was in front of me, and he just turned around and he went, "Oh yeah, you're Baldy Catz. I used to watch your stuff." That was it. And I went, "Oh hi," you know. And that was it. That was absolutely it. But my daughter was so young, she didn't kind of understand social situations. So at the top of voice, she just went, "There you go, Dad. He's one of your biggest fans." Shut up.
I was on holiday in a haven down in England when I was visiting my parents, and me and my daughter were standing at one of the claw machines, and there was a guy and his son standing behind me, and like Violet's, "Oh, can we have another go?" And I'm like, "No, I think this guy's waiting," and he was like, "No, I'm not. I'm one of your fans on YouTube," and I'm like. And that was the first time anyone had ever said it to me. I felt like a deer in headlights. I felt so awkward. I didn't know what to do or how to act, you know. And like my wife obviously felt a bit awkward as well because she just walked away. But, you know, that was the first time. And then the next time it was just as I was going to the gym and I walked past someone who looked at me and went, "You're FTFE." I'm like, "Yeah, hi." I mean, I know we're not like celebrities, you know, but we obviously do have some people that will recognise us. But can you imagine what it's like being an actual celebrity? You can't go anywhere without people recognising you. I don't know if I would like that.
No, that would be awful. That would be awful. I saw a video clip once, and it was on YouTube, and it was. I think the aim of the video clip was to slag off Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Because he was stood basically in the rain with an umbrella waiting for a car to pick him up. And he had this newspaper covering his face and he was all on his own, right? And people were still filming him, even though this newspaper over his face. And he was obviously like, I'm on my own. I'm like in my 70s or whatever. I don't want people I don't know crowding around me. You know, he was obviously almost like in fear of drawing a crowd, you know, to not even be able to stand outside a whatever... I don't know what public building he was stood outside of to wait for a car, to be in that kind of fear in a country that you don't even come from. I mean, like, you know what I mean? What must it be like at home?
The thing is, like, my audience is, you know, pretty well spread across the world. I mean, obviously the majority is probably, you know, US and UK, but I've got a lot of people that watch me in, you know, all over Europe and stuff. And I think there's just as much chance of me, you know, little as it is, being recognised, you know, if I go to Spain as anywhere else. So I was just a bit shocked that it happened once, and I was like, "Oh well, there's my one moment of you know, feeling like a celebrity." And then it happened again, and I was like, "This is weird."
The funniest thing that ever happened with me, it wasn't that I was recognised. It wasn't that, but I was working at a school, and I was leaving at the end of the year. And one of the teachers in the department knew that I did like Conspiracy Catz at the time, and they were watching me on the computer. You know when you watch a channel a lot, and then when you bring up YouTube, you've got the recommendations in the corner.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, "Oh, I can see what you watch." Well, this science teacher decided to put an educational video on, like I would do all the time, you know, for the kids. So he had his computer up to the projector. He put YouTube on, and he was showing this thing, but. In the recommended section, because he watched was my face on. You know, I used to have my same face on.
So he outed
and all the
you.
Kids. So go on.
So he outed you.
Oh, he outed me. But then, like, the kids obviously were watching it, and I had 4 weeks left at the school, and I was like, okay, we'll just die it down. And anyway, on the last day, it was non-uniform day, and I shit you not, on that day, about 3 kids came in Space Commerce sweaters. They bought them.
Brilliant.
Oh
yeah. I mean, I like that. I bet you were like, "Oh no, you fucking outed me now."
Well, I had to go and tell the head. I was like, "Oh, just so you know, like, you know," because I was leaving the school then, and that's why I really started the YouTube anyway, because I was leaving. My plan was to leave full-time teaching and start my own thing, but I ended up getting a promotion to another school. So I was like, you know what, I'll just do the YouTube on the side, and the people at the other school won't know. And it was all fine after that. But just at that one school, it was, yeah, it was pretty weird for that last couple of weeks. Like,
guys, Chris says that YouTubers and Tuckers are the new age celebrities. Get used to it as the channel grows. I mean, you know, it would be nice, I guess, to know that more people know about me. But I'm a very awkward person in person sometimes, and like I just don't know how I'd cope with that. I'd like to do a meet and greet, I guess, but I think I'd be a bit shy in person. I'm not quite, you're a flat earther, I'm going to tell you you're an idiot to your face, but people that like me and give me compliments, I'm like... Timo Lynch, €5 says, I read a new one for me, a new Flerfdom. Light can't travel through a vacuum, so space must be fake. Any comment beyond go away, you dumb?
Light can't travel through a vacuum. Oh my! I mean, like, surely everyone's been at school and done, and like sucked the air out of a bell jar so you can hear the sound like dim down. And it's not like I know you don't get a perfect vacuum, but it's not as if the bell inside the bell jar starts to get dimmer as the air comes out and you approach the vacuum, is it?
No, that's exactly what I was thinking. Vacuum chambers are a thing. We can see inside vacuum chambers.
It is.
I remember in school when the teacher was showing us stuff with the bell jar, and the way he showed that there was no atmosphere in there was he put some flies in there, right, and then took the atmosphere out, and the flies just sank down to the bottom. But he'd done it many times, and he knew that actually when he let the air back in, the flies just actually reanimated and carried on. But there was a girl who had recently been making a big thing about how she'd become a vegetarian and all animals and stuff, and she literally started crying during the lesson because she thought the teacher had murdered these flies in front of her.
God. You get over it. I've had reactions. I remember the first time I did a heart dissection. I had this massive ox heart that I brought in to demonstrate to everybody, and then they all do on little ones. And I had a separate room for any kid that thought they were queasy, that didn't want to do it, that didn't even want to see it. There was some work set up on the desks. Just go in there and do the work on the desks. A couple did, and then the ones that stayed, fine. I picked up this ox's heart, I put it on the desk, and this girl just fainted, cracked her head on the floor, and it was she really hurt herself. And I was only in my first year of teaching, or second year, like she bounced her head right off the floor. It was horrible. But
Did you always want to be a teacher, or
no?
What did you want to be? Like you're when you have your careers talk at high school, what was your, you want to be a ballet dancer or something?
I wanted to be honest, I wanted to be in the police, is what I wanted to be. And then at the time when I left uni, like everyone, I was kind of just at the tail end of being with an old girlfriend, and we weren't sure where we were going to relocate to. So I did a PGCE, thought, well, that'll trade, because at the time you got paid to do your teacher training. So I thought, well, for this year, while we figure out what we're doing, I'll do my PGCE. And then while I did it, I got offered a job. So I took it thinking I'll just knock it on the head when we go somewhere else. And then she dumped me. So I was left like with a PGCE and a teaching job to go into. And I was like, oh, I'll give it a go. And then if it don't work out, I'll go into, I'll try the police then. And it just kind of fell into it.
So you just stayed being a teacher.
Yeah, it's very inspiring, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't really want to do it. I just kind of did it by accident. And then I ended up being a teacher. And, but I reckon if I had you as a physics teacher, I would have been very happy. My physics teacher was a very droll, boring, just here is what this is, man. And, no humor at all. I imagine your lessons would have been quite fun.
You've got to pitch it right for the kids you've got. So, funnily enough, some kids, you get some classes that don't want a bit of banter. They don't want, the silliness and stuff, because they're very focus driven. They just want to be pushed academically as hard as they can. But then you get other, and they wouldn't like that. But then there are other classes that are so difficult to behave for behavioural reasons, that unless you are Like unless you're laughing and joking with them on the corridors, you know, and spending a lot of the time in the lesson acting a fool with them to get those relationships, there's no learning that takes place whatsoever. So very different with each class, to be honest. So some classes it was right, we're shutting up, we're working in silence, right, until I speak, and then you shut up and listen when I speak. And others, it was let's act the fool, you know, let's act the fool. So you got to bend it to the nature of the kids.
Did you have any ever have any issues with parents of kids?
Not ones that really got out of hand. There was certainly my first couple of years, because I was very young. I was maybe only about 6 years older than some of the kids I was teaching. To be honest, when I was doing my training, I think I was only like 4.5 years older than some of the kids I was teaching.
Yeah.
And then, you know, at that age, the kids, they don't really see you as an adult. You know what I mean? They don't see, they wouldn't treat you the same as they treat someone who's like, you know, 30 or 40 or whatever. And then trying to discipline them, that, you know, I'd often have to reach out to parents, and sometimes parents wouldn't be supportive. But to be honest, I was very black and white. Like, if I'd always say to the parent, what we want is the best thing for the kid and all the kids in the class. And the best thing for all the kids in the class isn't if one person is disrupting. And at the minute, that one person that's disrupting is your child. So together we can sort that out. Or if we can't sort it out together because you're not supporting me, unfortunately, everybody else comes first, and your daughter just won't come into my lessons, or your son. I don't know why I'm saying daughter. And that's how I did it. And you know, in the first few years, I'd just have kid. You know, you're not coming in, you're not coming in, you're not coming in. And then eventually the parents would either play ball or they'd demand the kid got put in a different set. I was a bit of a dick like that.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to deal with it, because, I mean, I'm a parent, and, you know, I can get angry when I feel like my child's been slighted or something. It's just natural. But, you know, I have issues controlling my temper. I imagine there's people a lot worse than me that would, you know, I've seen people go off on teachers when, you know, back in school and stuff. And I think that's one of the reasons that I couldn't be an actual teacher. I mean, I've done tutoring and stuff, but I couldn't be an actual teacher because I don't think I have the patience with the adults more than the kids. Because, you know, it's never the kids' fault the way they are. It's their parents. And, you know, I would want to deal with the source. And then I just get angry with the fact that they're awful parents.
If you've got parental support, every problem is solvable. Every relationship is salvageable. If you haven't got parental support, it's a one-way road to just destruction, you know. And that is there. That's ultimately it, you know. If you haven't got parental support, it's very, very, very difficult to, you know, to do what you need to do for the kids, and it's a shame because you can't save everybody, you know. But you know, it's hard. There's been some kids I've seen that have kind of like fallen by the wayside, and you think that didn't have to happen, but it was, you know, mum and dad's fault.
Yeah, it must be hard as a teacher because you just want to help the kids, right?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. After about eight months of somebody just constantly being a dick, you know, then sometimes you just don't want to see him again. Like, you know what I mean? It's not all Mother Teresa stuff, but yeah, that is always the initial goal. You know, you want to help them, and you want to get that across to the parents. But you know, I've had very few times where the parents weren't supportive, and like I said, I just handled it my own way, and ultimately the parents had to just lump it.
Now, no names, obviously, but has there ever been a student where you're just like, when they come into your class, like, oh, for fuck's sake, not you?
Not since I started like when I very first started teaching. Yeah, but I was working in a pretty rough school, and I don't know whether it's because I was really, really young and inexperienced, and you know, seen as not being a proper adult, you know, because I was just a few years older than the kids. We're going back over 20 years here, so you know, a long time ago. So I don't know whether it was my age or my inexperience, but there were kids that just wouldn't play ball. But that's where I learned very early on. Right, well, you just don't come in then, you know? And I think that's maybe why there were some negative interactions with parents, because again, if you're like a 40-year-old man and you've got some 22-year-old bloke saying, I'm not teaching your kid.
Yeah.
You know, you'd be like, well, you're a kid yourself, you know? So it's...
Do as you're fucking told.
Yeah.
I'm just adding a redirect for MC Toon's stream at midnight. He's got Astronomy Live on, reviewing the debate that he did live with Witsit and Not a Dr. Sungenis and literal shit for Alex Stein.
I didn't realise that had gone. How did that go?
As well as you would expect. Astronomy Live got to speak about 3 times. And every time he spoke, within 4 words, he was interrupted by Witsit or Alex Stein. The host, who is apparently a big piece of shit, spoke a bunch of rubbish that wasn't relevant to the debate. For some reason, they didn't tell Astronomy Live that it was not going to be just Witsit, that Sungenis and Alex Stein were also going to be there. He only found out like the day before from the production team. Witsit made it out as though it was just going to be the 2 of them debating, which was very dishonest. But then most of it turned into Robert Sungenis, the geocentrist, kind of asking Witsit, the flat earther, questions. And then every now and then the host would turn around to Astronomy Live and say, what do you think? And Astronomy Live would say something, get a few words in, and Witsit would interrupt him. And then Alex Stein would say something stupid like, well, it's just buoyancy and density. Everyone would ignore him, and then it would go back to Robert Sungenis and Witsit talking amongst themselves, saying stupid things. I always enjoy seeing stupid people debunk flat earthers, because let's be clear, not a Dr. Robert Sungenis is fucking stupid. He thinks that Coriolis can be caused by the universe moving.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've asked for the mechanism. When I debated him a few years ago, I asked by what mechanism that can happen. And he just said, well, you clearly don't understand gravity, which has nothing to do with Coriolis. His model, Robert Sungenis' model, isn't the normal geocentric model where everything goes around the Earth. Everything goes around the sun, apart from the Earth, and the sun goes around the Earth with everything else going around the sun as it goes around the Earth. That's his model of geocentrism.
I mean, at least, you know, he's not a flat earther. As bad as that sounds, at least he's still not a flat earther. There's some way to go.
Timo Lynch for 5 years says, we dissected cow eyes in school, and the genius who got them froze them and then had her mum defrost them in a microwave. It was a tad messy. Why does it smell like beef?
I remember a cow eye dissection, and I still cringe about this to this day. It was my first week at a brand new school, and I was trying to set a good impression, obviously. First week at brand new school, and I was doing this dissection with my year 11 class, the first time I'd ever met them. And there was this lad in front, and he was one like the popular sporty lads. He was a nice lad. But
yeah,
you can tell, like, you know, you get this kid on side, you get that kid on side, and the class is on side, you know. So I had this eye, and I was trying to show him, and I was like, look how tough that is to get your scalpel in, because it really is quite tough to pierce. I was like, look how tough, and then it went in, and it's all over his shirt. I was like, oh shit.
Whoopsie.
It was my first lesson, and I only just got to the school, and I just sprayed eye juice all over, vitreous humour, all over somebody's shirt.
I remember we had a supply teacher come in on physics one day, and he did the experiment where you get the big glass tube and you fill it with like a gas, and then you light it and it goes off and creates the fire of different colors depending on what you put in. But he set it up right underneath the sprinklers, and he'd done like 3 different colors to show us what different chemicals, the reactions, the colors you get. And the 4th one, I can't remember what chemical it was, but it was like bright red. What would make bright red?
Sodium would. Oh, no. Calcium's red, isn't it? But some kind of calcium salt?
But whatever it was, it seemed to be way hotter than the rest of the stuff. And when he lit it and it went woof and made that noise and this big red tube, all of the sprinklers went off. And he just stood there like, what have I done? And everyone was just laughing at him and pointing at him. And I imagine that is one of his worst days as a teacher, being a supply teacher and setting off the school's sprinklers.
That is brilliant. I've set smoke alarm off many a time. We used to have a really good system in the science labs where the smoke alarms wouldn't go off with smoke. I know that sounds odd, but it would be temperature because it was a room that you expected lots of bangs and smoke and stuff. So they were just a different type of smoke alarm. They were a bit less sensitive. And then they got changed for some reason when the entire schools got changed and put in line with the rest of the school. And then they just went off all the time. You know, a kid would blow out a splint that they'd used like a Bunsen burner and it set the bloody thing off. You know, it was so it wasn't our fault, but it, you know, every couple of weeks we'd be setting it off, and all the entire school would have to go outside, stand in the rain, you know, while we confirmed it wasn't a real fire. It's like, oh, Mr. So and so again.
Yeah, I went to let's say a rough school, so the kids pulling the fire alarm was a regular occurrence. I was like, all right, here we go again. Plan a Walk, new member, thank you very much. Plan a Walk, I can't believe you weren't a member already. How dare you? Skinny Boy Fat from $9.99 says, Craig, these interviews, discussions you've been having lately are insanely good and informative. I'm riveted with every one of your guest stories, better than Rogan in many ways. Well, I've got Simon Dan coming on Friday, which should be fun. Monkey Cat Pat Pat $2 says, did you catch Witsit and Jaren today? It was brutal. No. What's happened with Witsit and Jaren today? I need to see that. Are they arguing with each other?
I thought they were on the same team, are they? Or are they?
They are on the same team, but Jarenism lately has got annoyed with a lot of other flat earthers, right? Because all the flat earthers, all of them, have always made the claim that, oh no, a 24-hour sun in Antarctica is impossible and it doesn't happen, and if it does, then the Earth's a globe. But obviously now the final experiment's happening, they're all going, oh, I've never said that, it doesn't change anything. But Jarenism's holding to what he said, and he's pissed off at a lot of the other flat earthers. Witsit's changed his tune, Dearth has changed his tune, you know?
Yeah.
In fact, Dearth was throwing him under the bus on X, and I pointed it out. And Jaren was a bit angry with him, and then Dearth came on his show, and like Jaren was trying to point out that he's like, you're being a bit hypocritical, and Dave was ignoring it, and then just donated him $200 and then ran away.
Oh my God. But they have, you know, for years they've been like, you know, talking about the 24-hour sunlight there, haven't they? And
yeah.
I mean, I've seen video clips of it. You can't walk away from the amount of times they've said that kind of stuff. So, my word.
Tiny Captain says that tell cats that heat sensors instead of smoke sensors is a regular thing in science labs and galleys or other rooms where smoke is expected. Well, yeah, but this is British education, and that would cost money.
Well, the thing is, we had them, and they were working fine. And then the school, for some reason, got all the smoke alarms changed in the main school block. We were in an external block. And for some reason, rather than leave our heat sensors in, they just changed ours to smoke alarms. It just didn't make any sense. And then, you know, moaned at us when we set the smoke alarm off. Like, well, you know, we use Bunsen burners like at least once a day. So
there was never enough Bunsen burners in my school. And here's the truth about my school. It was an awful school, and they knew that the end was coming, right? They hadn't had anyone get good grades in ages. And in my year was kind of like the final chance the school had to produce some good pupils. And the way the school dealt with it, which wasn't right, was, well, let's just look at who's actually going to get good grades and kind of ignore the rest. Because it was almost like a last-ditch attempt. And there was maybe 20 of us that would actually get attention from the teachers, but the rest of them, which were just, you know, awful kids, the teachers would just let them sit at the back of the class and do whatever and ignore them. So there was never enough equipment. So the ones that they'd make sure that the ones that they were trying to help got the equipment, and the rest of them they'd go, oh, just go and copy out that book at the back, you know. It was not good. It was not good. Pat Booth, $2 Canadian, says, how many push-ups is Catz going to do tonight?
You know what? I don't know if anyone, well, anyone who watches any of my videos from a few weeks ago will know that I'm recovering from I nearly fully tore a tendon in this hand, and I've had this tendon across the middle finger. I've had it splinted for ages. I was doing really well. I was doing 50 pull-ups a day, not in one go, obviously, but every single day without fail, I was doing 50 pull-ups. I don't do press-ups, but like, you know, dips and running 5 to 7 miles a day. I still do the running. And then I couldn't use my hand properly for months and months. And it's just getting back to strength. So at the minute, not many. I'm still trying to get my strength back.
Right. So I can't do pull-ups still. My damage in my shoulder, it just won't let me. I've been trying so hard to train to do a pull-up. I can push-ups is easy for me. It's my favorite exercise. I guess because I started when I was 10 stone heavier, and now I find it easy. And I can bash out. I usually do 1 to 200 a day, and squat and dips and stuff. But I can't do a pull-up. What advice have you got for me?
Oh, just negatives with a big gap between. So you jump up on the bar, and you hold yourself there as long as you can, and if that just means still going down, let yourself down as slowly as you can. Give yourself a minute's rest. Do that again. And then, do that 10 times and call that one set of 10, and then leave it. And then 2 days later, do the same. And then eventually you'll find that you let yourself down really slowly, and when you're at that point, you're not far from being able to do one. And then when you can do one, do them in 10 sets of one, and then a set of 2, and then 8 sets of 1 or whatever.
That's kind of how I went with the push-up. Just I would work on going down as slow as I could until I got the muscles work. But for 2 years when I'm in training, I've been trying to do a pull-up, and I just can't. It's the one thing I'm like, I want to do it. I want to do it.
They are. I love them. I can't do them at the minute. I don't want this tendon to rupture again. But I was doing 50 a day. I mean, I could never do. You see people on the internet doing like sets of 20. The most I've ever done in my life in one go is 14. That is the most I've ever
impressive,
done.
Man.
Before it was. I mean, I was happy. I was probably around about 12, maybe 11 or 12 when my tendon went. But my goal has always been 20, and I've just never been near 20.
Syrian says just do one arm pull-up, should be fine.
Yeah, well, yeah, why not?
Heat Shield says he sprained his little finger this morning lifting a coffee and a cigarette with the same hand.
That is impressive.
Yeah. You know what I hate though is, it's just getting older, I guess. But I go to the gym 5 days a week, and I've got my injuries and everything, and I'm pushing through them, and I'll pick up heavy weights and throw them around and stuff. But I twist oddly, or I sleep not right, and then I can't move for a day.
It is that getting old, isn't it? It is that getting old. Yeah, I do that. Get up in the morning and you can't turn your head, or I'll run 7 miles in the morning, then I'll get to work and I'll drop something on the floor, and it takes me half an hour to bend down and pick it up. Just like what?
Stupid bodies come. Elon Musk just hurry up and build some kind of cyborg body to put our minds into. I'll just go with that. And in fact, take me to Mars. Although I think in like 500 years' time, there'll be people on Mars in their domes, and they'll be like, yeah, it's a lie. We were never brought here in spaceships from Earth. Mars is flat. See, we live in domes.
Yeah, you get people on Mars who can look at the Earth and see it's round, and you get flat Marsers.
Planner Walk gifted a membership. He's only doing this to test his software that he's creating, so I guess I'm glad to help you there, Planner Walk. Timo Lynch for €5 says, Catz, have you ever worked with teachers where your general drift was, what an absolute knob, how did that gobshite get a degree?
Yeah, plenty. Plenty. Yeah, I've managed some as well. Yeah, plenty. Probably least said, soonest mended on that one, but yeah, plenty.
There were certainly some teachers that even I thought, how are you a teacher? Like our Spanish teacher she was a young girl, and I felt bad for her because she just could not control the class, like in the slightest. And then one day she went into the supply closet and someone locked it behind her and then left her in there. And then she had a panic attack. And like we were waiting for her to come to the lesson. We're like, where is she? And like it turned out, we went the whole lesson, we didn't know where she was, and it turned out at the end of the day that the previous lesson, as they left, someone had locked her in the bloody supply closet. Oh my
God.
Rev says he did 50 pull-ups or chin-ups all at once since he was 15 up until about 10 years ago when tendons in my elbows started going to shit. Yeah, stupid fucking bodies, right?
50 in one set. That is very impressive.
Oh, yeah, and apologies, I did misgender Planner Walk there. I do it all the time because I'm an idiot. So what have you got coming up then? Are you going to do another response to the senator?
Well, you know, I hope he gets back in touch. I was blown away when I woke up this morning and saw he commented. So I hope he comments tomorrow. And yeah, I'd like to get something set up with him. And then after that, it's just back up. I feel a lot freer on the Culture Catz channel rather than having to look at one topic, you know, which I was on the Conspiracy Catz. It was, you know, tend always to be the one thing. It might be medical misinformation. It might be something to do with corruption in school. It might be, you know, a Tucker Carlson ridiculous thing. So I don't know. I'll kind of see what tickles me fancy, but I'll definitely be getting another one out this week. I'm trying to average 2 videos a week. We'll see.
It's hard work though, isn't it? When you don't have a team. You know, what people don't realize about YouTube, especially when you're doing it full time, is that we are everything. You know, we have to come up with the ideas, research the ideas, script it, record it, edit it, post it, deal with all the social and everything. And you know, people think, oh, you're just sitting in front of a computer, but it is an awful lot of work. And YouTubers that are, you know, a bit above us, you know, maybe just a bit above Simon Dan's level, maybe they've got teams working with them. You know, all they've got to do is sit in front of and record, and everything else is done. But we've got to do everything ourselves.
Yeah, there are. I mean, there are some channels that are so big that they do. Yeah, they do employ people, don't they? And you know, but you've got to get crazy views and crazy money to be able to do that. You know, imagine having your channel so big that you can afford to pay someone, you know, £34,000 a year, you know, £30,000 to £40,000 a year, and you still earn a lot of money on top of that. It's crazy.
That's crazy. I've been thinking of hiring an editor at some point, because that's the thing that takes the longest for me, is sitting down and editing the videos. You know, it takes so long. You know, especially when I'm using all the effects, and it takes ages to render everything as I'm doing it. Luckily, one of my amazing subscribers has sent me a 3070 graphics card, which will be here on Thursday, which is going to be a massive upgrade for my rig. And again, thank you very much for that, Chad. It's incredibly great, generous of you. Yeah, so Catz, I want to say thank you to you for coming on. I really, really appreciate it. I'm glad that you're back on YouTube. You've always been in fact, you are one of the biggest reasons that I started my channel, is because I got addicted to, well, I saw Simon Dan and I found you through him, but then I preferred you to Simon Dan. I thought you were a lot funnier. Don't tell Dan. And it was you doing the flat earth stuff that made me kind of be like, you know what, maybe I can do this. And my wife was bored of me talking to her about it, so I, you know. So
Lucky you now, mate. You're leading the pack now.
I know. I do enjoy what I do. I wish I could get out more videos. I really do wish I'd get out more videos, but there's a lot more coming that are in the editing process. So, but yeah, thank you for coming on, Catz. And guys, make sure you are subscribed to Culture Catz, because he's going to be arguing with an Australian senator lots. I'm going to email that guy and see if he will debate you live, and I can host it.
Well, I did put the challenge out on the video I sent him. I said, look, you know, you've been here once. More than happy to go toe to toe with you on it, but we'll see, because that'll be because he's actually on like the version of Sky News or whatever. If you Google him, there's loads of proper news interviews. So if he actually does a debate and it all goes pear-shaped, you know, we can send that to Australian Sky News.
Yeah, it's a chance of being a viral thing. You know, Australian centre gets ruined by YouTuber. That would be absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. That would be, and you know, and he would get ruined, not because I'm any kind of climate scientist, but because his understanding of science is on the par of like a 10-year-old child, you know.
Yeah. Have you seen the etherically displaced video that was made by Austin Whitsitt? Well, it was made with Austin Whitsitt's word salad about the moon.
No, but I do want to see it, but I also want to ask you, before you put it on, you know that song you sent me on WhatsApp?
Yes.
Has that gone public yet?
Yes. Everyone knows about No Dirt in Middle.
Oh, cool. Because I was gonna say, if there's any chance you could play that at some point, because it's brilliant. I listen to that at least once or twice a week still.
I'm still trying to figure out the chords for it. It's not as simple as I thought.
Well, you can't play what you sent me, the track.
Yeah, I can play it. I can't. You know, I can't play it on guitar. I've been trying to learn to play it on guitar. Yeah, I'll play that first, actually, because it is hilarious.
It's brilliant.
Everyone likes a bit of No Dirt in Middle. Oh, come on, computer.
The law rings up to make no sense. Perseverance, who cares what words I don't make mean, huh? The law, I don't like your words, so I pick my favorite words. What's real? Non-real, super contained, metaverse.
It's on my gym playlist.
Oh, meta is an angle, real fake. It's a so physical, hit 'em up, chastise every young bitch that tries to stop me, Tupac. All humans can do is word salad or make up stuff. Disagree versus agree, it's not around, he's deaf, another deaf one. You can't hear, LOL, not a ball, it's a tear. Low, no dirt in the middle. No dirt in the middle, no, 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 no. No dirt in the middle.
So catchy.
No. To make no sense, perseverance, who cares what words I don't make mean, huh? Low, I don't like your words, so I pick my favorite words. What's real? Non-real, super contained, metaverse, first person. Low, meta is an angle, real fake. It's a so physical, hit 'em up, chastise every gun bitch that tries to stop me, Tupac. All humans can do is word salad or make up stuff. Disagree versus agree, it's not around, he's deaf, another deaf one. He can't hear, LOL.
Oh, I love this so much.
It's a tear, low, dirty middle. No dirty middle, no, 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 no.
The greenhouse effect in the middle.
No, 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 no. No dirty middle, no, 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 no. No dirty middle, no, 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 no. No dirty middle, to make no sense. Perseverance, who cares what words I don't make mean, huh? Low, I don't like your words, so I pick my favorite words. What's real? Non-real, super contained, metaverse, first person. Low, meta is an angle, real fake. No dirty middle, no, 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 no. No dirty middle, no, 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 no. No dirty middle, no, 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 no. No dirty middle, no, 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 no. No dirty middle, low dirty middle.
Yeah, I do love it. It's a banger. AI is too good at writing music. Like,
it's great. I listen to it when I'm on the treadmill. It's part of my playlist.
Yeah, it's actually on my gym playlist. There's a couple of the songs about Demok on my playlist. Someone says, "What are your future projects? What city are you coming from?"
So for me,
yeah.
So what city am I coming from? Is that?
I think he just wants to know where you are at the moment. But what he said wants to know what are your future projects.
So, I'm in Blackburn, but my future projects, to be honest, are anything that is to do with poor scientific communication. So it could be linked to conspiracy, it could be linked to scam products, it could be linked to medical misinformation, it could be linked to misinformation that linked to education. It basically, like, similar to flat Earth stuff, but just not flat Earth.
Yeah, but they all think the same. All conspiracy theorists think the same. The other day, right, I had a debate between a young Earth creationist and a sane person on the channel, right? The young Earth creationist, he's a flat Earth debunker as well, and he's really good at it, and he talks about science and stuff. But when he was talking about his young Earth creationist stuff, all his arguments are the same arguments that flat Earthers give, and he even realized that in himself, that and I think he's having a bit of an existential crisis about the fact that he realizes the only way he can defend young Earth creationism is using flat Earth tactics.
Yeah, and well, I mean, it sounds, to be honest, like if he does argue against flat Earth and he can see the stupidity in what they're doing, then there's hope for him. Yeah, it sounds like there's hope.
He's definitely good at debunking the flat Earth. Skinny Boy Fat 199 says that's the best song ever. Sheep Go Quack for £5 wants to know when we're getting a live acoustic collaboration with FTFE and Catz.
Well, at the minute, because of my tendon in my hand, I can't play the guitar. So I reckon it'll be another 3 months before I can even pick it up and start using some.
I love my guitar. Yeah. Right, here is Etherically Displaced by Witsit.
What is a full moon and what is a new moon on your model?
Probably like a magnetic cycle, and just like the center of a ferrocell image of a magnet.
like the center of a carousel spiral. Image of a magnet, it's just black in the middle. It's actually pure inertia, not just a little. In the carousel image of a magnet, it actually goes into its inertial state. Then charges back up. It becomes like etherically displaced. Yeah. You start to see it charge up once more, and it goes back like it did before. Once it becomes like etherically spaced, you see it charge up and take its place. Oh, shucks, ain't that so? That's how moon phases work, fam. Pass the dresser. In the magnet's heart, centrifugal divergence flies, centripetal convergence pulls. Defying all science, etheric whispers sing, light and shadow blend, magnetic cycles spin, where physics seems to end. In the carousel image of a magnet, it actually goes into its inertial state, then charges back up. It becomes like etherically displaced. Yeehaw! Grab your partner, swing around, magnetic cycles up and down. Either song in the air, hillbilly science everywhere, cause it's like etherically displaced. Yeehaw! Yo, belly on up to the Wixit word salad buffet. Who has light vinaigrettes? The Jugger Ranch.
Then charges back up, and once it becomes like etherically displaced again, you start to see it charge up throughout a cycle, and it goes back.
Yeah, that was his explanations of moon phases. It becomes etherically displaced like the center of a ferrocell magnet, charges up throughout a cycle.
My
or something.
God.
Yeah. These people are like allowed to vote and stuff, Catz. He can own a gun where he lives.
What, sorry?
He can own a gun where he lives.
That is the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard. That's dumber than what the senator said. That is... My God, that hurts.
It does.
How bad that is.
It physically hurts. He doesn't even... I've tried to explain to him what a ferrocell is, and he doesn't get it. Witsit does not get it.
Well, yeah. Oh my God.
Right, guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all the questions for Catz. I really appreciate it. And thank you for being with me every day of this month, because who needs sleep, right? I'm going to try and go to sleep because my body is actually hurting, because I am not a clone. I'm not, I swear. If you guys stay in the chat, you will be automatically redirected to Toon's Chat with Astronomy Live, which starts in about 25 minutes. Catz, any final words?
Yeah, I want to know how you do that. You've got your stream set up, so anyone who's watching will just automatically bounce onto...
Yeah, when you're live, you click on Edit and go to Customization. As long as the channel has you set as authorized, you can then set any of their videos that are coming up to be your chat to be automatically redirected to them.
Whoa. What is this dark magic?
I know, it's good.
Right. Well, I'm gonna go up and listen to some of that then.
Well, thank you again. Thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate it. I'm glad that you get a couple of days off. So I know how busy you are all of the time.
Well, I'm getting less busy now, which is, so I'm, like I said, I'm getting back to YouTube. But mate, honestly, it has been brilliant to catch up again, and I had loads and loads of fun. It's just been nice to chill out and chat and catch up again. So thanks for having me on, mate.
No worries.
To do it more often, I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. We should. You're right. But anyway, take care, and I will see you soon, Catz. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Conspiracy Catz is awesome, and is one of my inspirations for starting my channel. Obviously, right now, MC Toon has his channel, his original channel, Conspiracy Catz, and Mr. Sensible's got Baldy Catz, and he's got Culture Catz. So yeah, I'm really glad that he could come on and have a chat with us, and thank you very much for the super chats and the support. I am going to go and just eat a bit of protein and then go to bed. Because every little bit of my body hurts. I didn't realize that doing so many press ups would hurt all my core, my abs, my lats, like my shoulders, like in agony, my neck, my wrist, everything is hurting. But yeah, I had fun doing that 1,000 push-ups, and we'll get the Just Giving page up tomorrow and get that all sorted. Thank you everyone for watching. Remember, stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth.
Fight the flat, 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 fight the flat,
Hi, my name's Nathan Oakley, and I have been lying to people about the Earth being flat for a lot of years. I did this to hide the fact I have a small penis.
I'm a dumb flat earther, and I don't understand science.
Level